Hey, how are you? So glad to see you and that you joined us this morning. We're going to get started. My name is Phyllis Smith, and this is Mindful Movement and Meditation. It's a 30-minute class, and we're going to do a little bit of movement in the beginning, very gentle, nothing. It's really for all bodies, all ages, all levels. So what I would recommend is that you have one or two blankets. If you don't have a blanket, use a big towel. So that would be fine. So that would be one of your pieces of equipment is a blanket or a big beach towel if you have a beach towel, or a regular towel too. The other option is, the other thing too is, I brought a chair here, and so you can use the chair because everything we do can be done sitting in a chair. And I'll be offering modifications so that you'll be able to join in and do this practice that serves you and supports you. Okay, so I look forward to doing this with you and sharing this experience, this virtual experience. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to just become aware of our breath. That's the very first thing that we want to do so that we can tune out and tune in. So put one hand on your belly, one hand over your heart, and go ahead and close your eyes and just begin to notice your breath first. Just begin to feel your breath and feel as your belly expands, as you inhale, and draw your navel in as you exhale. Just noticing your breath and how it affects your body, what your body does as we breathe. So being present, and that's really what mindfulness is. It's what mindful movement and mindfulness is about, learning to be present. When we can be present, especially during these challenging times, we can get out of our head, get out of the fear, get out of the anxiety, and just be present. And when we're present, we can find more joy in the experience that we're going through. So continue breathing and just feeling and noticing your breath. Noticing your belly expand, moving the breath up to the top of your lungs and then back down again as we exhale, drawing your navel in. Eyes closed. Take a couple of more breaths here. You're sitting comfortably. All right, now you can go ahead and lower your hands. And I want to recommend too that if it's hard for you to sit, you can always sit on a blanket. That's what we have our blankets for, and that helps reduce some of the stress that we have in our hips. And if you choose, you can also sit in a chair for everything that we're doing today. So the next thing, we're going to start moving with our breath. So once again, notice your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And this time as we inhale, let's raise our arms up, breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, arms up, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. So now as we inhale, arms up, we're going to turn to your left and twist. Bring your arms up again, face forward, exhale, twist to the other side. Moving with our breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale forward and exhale. And inhale, arms up. And this time, you can bring your hands down and you can switch legs. Now, just so you know, I have a little tightness and challenging with one of my knees. So I take my other blanket and I will prop that blanket under my knee. So you can use props, use things around your house. You can use a book or whatever you might have so that you can support yourself. You might have to raise the floor, or in this case, I just need to raise my knee because I have some pain in this knee. All right, so once again, we're going to raise our arms up. This time we're going to fold forward. Inhale, arms up and fold forward. Inhale, arms up and fold forward. Lovely. Come on back to center, neutral. We're going to do a little side stretch now. So take your left hand, put it beside you, raise your right arm overhead, inhale and exhale, and bow that right rib out, and then come on back. Inhale up and bring your arm over. Go ahead and push with your opposite hand to give yourself a nice big side stretch here, feeling it from your fingers down to your hips up. And let's do that again. Inhale up and side stretch. You can use the hand on the floor to push away, bow out a little bit more, get some more of a stretch. And one more time. All right, come back to center. You can put your hands on your thighs here, and we're just going to make some circles. Begin to open our hips, moving in one direction. Notice your breath. Continue to breathe. And let's go back the other direction. All right. So now you can keep sitting on your blanket if you'd like. It helps also to tilt your hips forward, make it a little bit less of a strain on your lower back when you're doing a forward fold. So your legs are going to be out straight, Dandasana, staff pose. Feet are flexed, so this is point. Your feet are pointing. When your toes are away from you, feet are flexed. Your toes are pointing back at you. And you might also go ahead and put a blanket under your knees, just so that reminding you to keep a little bend in your knees. So we're going to begin to open up the back part of our thighs, our hamstrings. So once again, moving with our breath. Inhale up and forward fold. Inhale up, and don't try to touch your toes, and forward fold. Inhale up and forward fold. So you can go ahead and just stay here for a little bit. We want to make sure that our knees, if you don't have a blanket, just make sure that you're not locking your knees. We want a little bit of a bend. And just hold here for a moment. Stay here if you're on the floor. For those of you who are choosing to be in a chair, you can just you can sit back on your chair, and you can maybe hold on to the bottom of your chair and lean forward a little bit. Or you can come out and hold on to the chair so you don't fall off. And maybe you can do a little bit of a stretch here, just like that. All right. Okay. All right, lovely. So we're down here. We're still in our nice stretch. Turn your body towards the left and go ahead and take your right arm, and you can put it on your calf, maybe your ankle. I don't know if you're really flexible. You can even grab the outside of your foot. And just take the other hand and just kind of help yourself move into a little bit of a twist here. Breathing, noticing your breath. Can you take a nice big breath when you're twisting? And this is really a twist and a really nice stretch for your shoulders, for that area between your shoulder blades. So getting a nice stretch here. And then come back to center, and then we go to the other side. You're almost pulling that leg and taking your other hand behind you. And just see if you can give yourself a nice stretch right back here in your rhomboids. All right, beautiful. Now, go ahead and if you have a blanket underneath your knees, you can remove that now. And we're going to take your right leg and bring it in so that your foot is hugging your straight leg, the opposite leg. And you'll take your left arm and wrap it around your knee, just like this. Keeping your back and your spine nice and straight, we're going to twist. So take your opposite hand and you're going to plant that hand behind you. Press up as we inhale. Inhale. And then as we exhale, begin to twist, keeping that chin in line with your sternum, but your eye gaze might begin to move over your shoulder. Inhale, release a little, and lift, straighten that spine, open up those vertebrae, and twist. Inhale, lift, and twist. For some of you, if you practice yoga a lot, you can even bring your arm out and on the other side, the outside of your leg, your bent knee, and even get even more of a deeper twist like that. If you're sitting in your chair, you can go ahead and twist in the chair and even grab onto the back of the chair. So let's switch legs. And I'm going to turn in this direction so that you can see. So we're switching legs. Now we're using your left knee. Bend your left knee. Plant it, go ahead, right on the inside of your straight leg. We're going to take the opposite hand and lift and begin to twist. You can put that hand behind you. You can grab on. You can even use your hand to grab your knee, or you can wrap your arm around that bent knee. Inhale, we unwind just slightly, and then exhale and move into the twist. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. Inhale, and exhale. Very nice, beautiful. Shake it out. Now we're going to come on all fours. Now again, if you're sitting in a chair, you can do this in a chair too. We're going to do a little bit of cat-cow. So we're going to have our arms directly underneath our shoulders. We're going to have a neutral spine. I know this shirt's a little loosey-goosey. So you'll have a nice neutral spine, nice and straight. Arms are directly under your shoulders. And we're going to, as we inhale, we're going to lift our chest and lift our tailbone. But don't overextend that tailbone. We don't want you to compress your lower back too much. Inhale. Exhale, push the floor away from you into a Halloween cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round your back, Halloween cat or happy cat. Inhale, into a cow. Exhale, cat. Now go ahead, let's do that again. Inhale, cow. Exhale, push your hips back towards your feet, your heels, into a child's pose, and then come back up again, and let's do the cat. Moving with our breath. Inhale, press the floor away from you, cat. Exhale, child's. One more time. Inhale, and exhale. Come on down. This time, inhale. Keep doing that, actually. and press down. If you're sitting in a chair, continuing with your cat and cow, you can put your hands on your knees. And as you inhale, you just lift your chest. And as you exhale, press your hands against your thighs and come into rounding your back. Inhale and exhale. Continuing with that. All right, now bring your hands forward just a bit, and we're going to drop into a knee plank. So we're going to bring our hips forward. Go ahead and bring our hips forward. So we have kind of a straight line. Arms are directly under our shoulders. Squeeze your buttocks, elbows in, and chaturanga, lower down. And then keeping your elbows in towards your body, hugging your body, lift up your heart, lift up your chest into a cobra, squeezing your bottom. So to protect your lower back. Come on back up, push back into a child's pose. Tuck those toes under. And now we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So we're going to lean forward, lifting our hips, lifting those knees. And as we get to the top, we straighten those legs, but we can have our legs bent. We don't have to be completely straight. So some of us have very tight hamstrings, and that's perfectly fine. We're off our heels, and we're pressing ourselves back, and now we have the shape of a V. Press your hands away from you. Now stay in your down dog. For those of you who are in a chair, you can come around to your chair and step back and go ahead and bend forward, and you drop forward, keep those knees bent. So that's what happens when you're in a chair. We're in our down dog. Now we're going to shift our weight forward, come into a high plank if you'd like, if you want more challenging, or on your knees. Elbows in, chaturanga, lower down. Push the floor away from you into a cobra, and push back into a child's pose. Let's do that one more time. So we're going to inhale, cow. Exhale, putting it all together, cat. Come down into a child's. Now we're going to go ahead. We can come up on our toes onto a high plank or stay on your knees. Elbows in, lower down. Squeeze your buttocks, push the floor away from you. Elbows are hugging. Push up, toes under this time. One more time, come up into a downward facing dog. And then one more time, let's move into a plank. Elbows in, lower down. Come on up, cobra. Push back. And just stay right here in a child's pose. If you're sitting in a chair, you can just relax here. You can fold forward. You can let your head just drop and stay here. If that's difficult for you to fold forward, then you can just sit up comfortably in the chair and just take a moment, close your eyes, and relax. Feeling your body, feeling what you're feeling. What is your body feeling at this moment? All right. So go ahead and come on back to our Dandasana. We're going to cross one leg over the other. So our right ankle is over our straight leg. We're going to put our hands behind us. You can do this in a chair too. You're going to cross your ankle over your thigh. Put your hands behind you, bend that knee. And now we're into a sitting pigeon. And right here, we're opening up our hips, really releasing some of the tension. We often hold our emotions in our hips, our lower back. So that's why it's so important, why yoga is so great. Moving like this can help you open. and release and let go of those emotions that we, especially now that we feel, that we tend to feel and get pent up inside of us. And let's switch sides. Cross the other ankle over. Put your hands behind you. Fingers are pointing towards you. Bend that knee and go ahead. Now, make sure that you're pressing so that you're lifting up your heart, opening up your heart space, lifting your spine so you're not collapsing. Rocking your knee side to side, opening up those hip joints. All right. Wow, this time goes by pretty quickly. So go ahead, and now we're going to lay down and lay down on your back. And if you have a blanket, you can bring up your blanket underneath your head if you want a little bit more comfort. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and just rock side to side. If you're sitting in a chair, you can just bring your knees, just kind of come up maybe on your toes and just feel the opening, feeling your hips opening. And go ahead and drop your feet, straighten your legs. Oh, extend your arms and just reach. If you're sitting in a chair, go ahead and just reach above you and stretch, squeeze every muscled bone, squeeze even your eyes. Squeeze, make fists, and relax. Let's do that one more time. Squeeze, 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 squeeze your eyes, squeeze everything, all muscle to bone, squeeze, and relax. Tense and relax. When we tense our muscles like that, it makes it easier for us to let go. So you have a choice right now. You can lay on the ground. We're going to move into a meditation. So you might prefer to lay down, or you might grab a chair and put the chair in front of you and prop your legs up on the chair, just like this. Your arms will be out to your side, palms facing up. And if you're sitting in a chair, if that's your preference, then you can sit in a chair. Oops, all these technicalities. So we're sitting in a chair. I think. All right, so if we're sitting in a chair, and this is really how I like to meditate. I like sitting in a chair because I like to feel my feet connected to the earth. But if you're laying down, that's perfectly fine. So together now, let's close our eyes and we're going to begin to find our breath once again. Feel the cool air moving in and the warm air moving out. Feel your feet connected to the earth. Even your hands, you can either place your hands, rest your palm, the back of your right hand and the palm of your left hand. You can touch your thumbs, or you can put your hands on your thighs, or you can put your palms facing up or facing down, whatever's comfortable for you. Finding your breath, feeling your feet, almost, you might even press your toes and feel the connection. Maybe press your fingertips. What that does is it helps us bring us back to the present moment. Now see if you can begin to notice using your five senses. And you begin to notice, even though it might be silent, if you can hear the sounds. Maybe it's your air conditioning, maybe it's just energy moving through the air. Using your ears to hear, using your nose to smell, to taste. Noticing your breath, continue to notice your breath. So we have our 5 senses, we have our breath, sense of touch. Now, because we're human, we have thoughts, and that's okay. That's all right. But when a thought comes to our head, when a thought comes to our mind, silently say to yourself the words thinking, thinking, and then come back to your breath and say breathing, breathing. Thinking, thinking, breathing, breathing. And that's another way for you to come back to the present moment. The more you try to stop thinking about something instead of welcoming and embracing the thought, the harder it is to let go. But when we acknowledge and we are aware of our thoughts, only then do we have the power to change those thoughts. Each of us has the power to change our thinking, to regulate our emotions. But if we start with our thought, because thought leads to behavior, thought leads to response. We can start with our thought, thinking, thinking, breathing, breathing, and then come back to your breath. Feeling yourself sinking into your seat. Keeping your back straight, nice and tall. If you're laying on the ground, melting into the earth with each breath. With each exhalation, drop a little bit deeper. And when your mind wanders, you can press your toes, press your fingers, just to bring you back to this space and time. Your safe space. Now, if you're laying down, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. If you're sitting, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And if you're laying down, roll over on your side. Bring your knees into your chest. And then slowly come up to sitting, using your arms to push you up. And bring your hands together in a prayer position, pressing your thumbs into your heart. keeping the pinky and your thumb pressed together. Just slightly open the middle three fingers. Keeping your eyes closed. And imagine those fingers, it's kind of a portal to your heart. And try to imagine people who love you, surrounding you and embracing you, supporting you, loving you. Just imagine they're all around you right now. And imagine a white light, a beautiful, pure white light beaming in through the center of your hand into your heart, feeling the warmth of that light on your face, beaming through your hands into your heart, out to these beautiful people around you who love and support you, bringing you comfort and kindness, feeling the warm light, feeling the love. Now bring the corners of your mouth, lifting those corners up into a beautiful smile. Taking a nice deep breath. Slowly flutter your eyes open. Go ahead and bring those fingers together, capturing all that love and that light. And now bring your hands to the center of your forehead and repeat these words. I have a strong mind. Bring your hands to your heart. I have a brave heart. Hands to your belly. I have a wise body. And hands up, saying, I have a noble spirit. Put your hands together again. And I just want to say thank you for joining me. And may the light in me honor the light in each and every single one of you. Namaste. Thank you for all for joining.